backyard with this RLD Ghost Awning 360. Wow, what a piece of engineering. This thing is awesome. It's known for probably two main things. One, size is great. This is going to wrap around almost the whole vehicle. It's really lightweight. It's not much more than, like, say, a Rhino Batwing awning. So it's a nice, lighter weight, big awning. If you want to make a little bit better investment, this is a serious choice. Second thing it's known for, it comes with these funky little brackets that they just are supposed to pinch the awning here by the side. Turn that one down. Okay, and then mount up to some kind of flat surface. So if you had a nice rigid shell tent or you know, big like tray back kind of thing, yeah, you could use these probably and get away with it. But if not, you're gonna need another solution. So what I'm gonna do here today is I'm gonna use these backing plates. These are the same things I use for Batwing extension plates. You've seen them elsewhere. And then our standard awning receiver bracket. I'm gonna pair these together and see if I can get this guy on my truck. So stay tuned. So hanging out on the ground here, but I wanted to show you this extrusion. These guys are using a hollow channel, which means these channels run all the way through, and it's a double wall. So really cool. It's very strong and lightweight. I'll give them that. But the bummer is I can't just drill through this thing and put a nut on the backside or I'm gonna squish it. So this thing's falling over on me. So that's why the backing plate comes into play here. So stay tuned. I got a little project here. So aside from using the backing plate on the awning side, the other added step we get is on the rack side. Usually we're just going to mount these right to our rack plates. One, you know, two or three, and then you slide these on. This is my Batwing awning here. You put these on, but you don't have to really care where these go, because you can insert them and then you can kind of wiggle things around and tighten them where you think it looks right. Well, in this case, we got to be pretty committed where this is going to bolt up, because of course that's going to go on the other side, but you get the idea. We have to drill holes. So I'm cheating a little bit that I already have a Batwing set up here as a template, so I can do some measurements. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with the middle tower, because it's basically in the middle of this awning. I'm going to get this guy bolted up, and then I'll go ahead and fit check the other two and see if I can make some marks that way. So see how this goes. All right, so I got my first backing plate about where I think it should be. I got a couple little dots here for my holes. I put some boards under it. What I'm hoping is that I can push down really hard on here and it will catch this canvas cover so that it won't spin as I'm trying to drill through it, because I'm hoping to just poke a couple holes right through the cover at the same time I'm drilling through the extrusion. Second thing is, remember there's some ribs that go through this extrusion, so make sure your holes are not landing on a rib, that you have clearance for that bolt to pass through, or your project's going to get a little longer. So that went pretty good. Went through both walls and into my wood. I can see the sawdust coming up. It's always a good sign. And it didn't grab the canvas, so I think I should have two nice clean holes on the other side. Let's check it out. So I had to run to the store. I thought I could get by with these 1.5 inch, but they're just a little too short. So 2 inches long, that's your magic number for your bolt length here. And I'm going to put the head of the bolt on the inside of the rack, because I just don't want anything poking the awning material and so forth. So I say rack on that awning. So I'm going to start with that backing plate, go through like that, through my cover, and then I'm going to put my tower side of the bracket right there. And bolt those up and go see what this looks like. So I did a really terrible job of packing this up. Don't worry, we'll do better. I just wanted to flip it over and get a look at this guy. That's on there. And that backing plate makes it nice and secure. I'm squeezing that entire extrusion, but I'm not focusing on one spot, so I'm not worried about denting it. this is gonna work. So now I'm gonna go back to the truck. I'm gonna measure out my front tower, my back tower from right here. We're gonna measure a few times just to make sure we get it, and then I'm gonna add 2 more and we'll install this guy. Stay tuned. Okay, so back in the garage, and I've got the 3 mounts already on the rack. I use these for all sorts of things, so I'm really just going to measure from one to the next. And when you do this, it doesn't really matter if you go from the outside edge to the outside edge, you know, this edge to this edge. It just has to be the same spot on both, right? Quality, they call that a datum. You can't switch those around. So as long as you're consistent, I wouldn't go center to center because you're kind of eyeballing, but you know, this edge is easy to catch to, there we go, to that edge. So I got my number there, I'm going to record it. Got my number there, I'm going to record it. Go back to the awning, drill some more holes. Last point on measuring is the numbers you come up with should make sense. I wouldn't design something that was 0.06 or whatever. Things are going to be within a 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch most of the time. So as I'm measuring, I know, 31 3/4, that feels about right. Back here, I'm at 22 5/8. So those numbers, they make sense to me. And so I made myself a little drawing. There you go. I'm going to take that back to the awning. So do something like that so you don't have to keep running back and forth, and hopefully you only have to drill one time. So front dimension was 31 3/4. There it is, and there are my dots. And my back dimension was 22 5/8. So there we are. So again, it doesn't matter if I go left edge to left edge, or I could go right edge to right edge. I guess I could go hole to hole, but it gets a little sketchier. But you get the point, right? Just kind of keep those reference points consistent. You'll transfer your numbers okay. So when I'm drilling and it matters, I like to use one of these step drills with a really nice sharp point. If you don't have a center drill, try one of these, or even just a smaller drill as a starter. It's a lot better than one of these, which kind of has a tendency to walk around a little bit more when you're trying to get that hole started. So put that right on your dot and just start nice and slow. And that way, this hole is going to be exactly where I want it. Okay, so I got my holes drilled, most of my chips out. Now I can go ahead and install my other sets of plates and brackets, and we'll get this guy on the truck. Alright, a little bit of a mess here. Gotta put it away, but it's on. And it's staying up under its own power. And all 3 of these guys are engaged. So, looking promising. It's a little snug, but we can adjust that. I got one problem though. Can't open the door. So, this thing's got to go up. If you remember from the brackets, you can flip them one way or the other, and I just need to take these apart and flip them the other way. See if I can get that door to open. Back on the garage floor here. Unfortunately, with the hardware on the inside, you got to take this whole thing apart to manipulate the brackets. I know it's just a one-time setup, but boy, it really complicates these things. This had been a more simple extrusion-based awning, ARB, CVT, even a Gamiviti, 23-0, any of the Rhino products. These are all just bolted from the outside and go. You only put the awning out the first time to set it up after you've already got on the truck. But in this case, it reminds me a little bit of the AluCab product where, man, it's just in and out trying to get all this stuff lined up. So we'll get it though, but just, you want to spend at least, I estimate at least 2 hours minimum to figure this thing out on your own. Oh, back of the awning here. Flipping those guys over was the ticket. See, looking pretty good here. Got a couple pins in those outside ones. I didn't put a pin in the middle one. I had a little bit of interference on that bottom bolt. I ended up getting that 1.5 inch bolt back in there, and I skipped the washer. So I either had to cut that bolt down because it was hitting the expo bar, or do something else. So you may run into something, but you know, hey, these are projects. And this is what makes it fun. But there it is, installed. There's the back, the rack side. And here we are under the awning side. So here's my 3 backing plates installed. And that's pretty solid. That's an upgrade compared to what came with the awning. So no hesitation in running that. I think that's gonna work out pretty good. And it's still a little tight with the door. Should be okay, but I'll find out when I button this up. But you can see it's closing, but we'll see how tight that is once everything is all buttoned up. Of course, we could move that bracket to the top of the rack. I don't like to do that. I like to keep the top of the rack clean for tents and lumber and things, but there's always that option if we need it. So we'll find that one out in a second. So there we go. All zipped up, buttoned up. It's in there. It's a little too tight. So what I would do if I were to run this, in 1 second I'll show you. Yeah, so you have this rack piece, and on the Gamiviti racks, I like to run them under the rack just to keep this top plane nice and clean. But you can of course run it on top of the rack. You wouldn't do it through the grids, but I know you get the idea. It goes on the plates. On any other rack, you know, your extrusion racks or any tray racks, you know, this outer hole pattern is 3 inches, this inner hole pattern is 2 inches. I've installed these on a number of racks. They almost always go right on top. If I did that, I'd get another 3 inches on the height of this guy. Totally gonna clear the doors. But for today, I just wanted to see if I could do it. Looks like we got a winner here. The thing is on there, so it's gonna work. Gamiviti rack receivers with the RLD Ghost On 360. I don't know why they call it Ghost On. I had to find that one out. So okay, so back at it. Another day. Raised it up. Doors open, doors closed. All good. Let's go check out the rack side. Up here on the rack, you can now see those receiver ends are on the top side, which again raised that awning about 3 inches. Gave us what we needed to get the height that we needed. So as long as we got it on the truck, may as well set this thing up one more time and check it out. Okay, we did it. We deployed it. It's a big awning. So hey, here's a video of the other side. You got these little straps that connect to the rack. Great use of the gussets here. Just kind of wrap that around, stuck it on there. See a little bit better on this one here. So pretty simple and easy. And climb up and give you another peek up here. Yeah, and there's the top, so you can see the brackets doing what they're supposed to do. And that awning is deployed, and we got shade all along the hood and everything, so good to go. You know, one nice advantage with this being a little bit higher, great clearance with the door. If you got a 200 series 4Runner, you know, this is going to be working to your advantage, so that's one of the reasons. Also, if you're a super tall dude, it's nice to have a taller awning. So anyway, thank you for sticking with us on this one. This was kind of fun. Hope you learned something, and as always, let me know your comments. We'll see you on the next one.